Let's rev it up! Because I am sure hungry for one. Help! Help!
Alright, what's up guys? This is Jacob with Dirty Yugi and the boys are bringing you another deck profile for the April 1st, 2020 format. This time we're bringing you a deck that's didn't really get anything on the ban list, to be honest with you, but a deck that's probably going to be one of the best decks moving forward. That's True King Dino. This deck was already really good last format, didn't lose anything to the ban list. Now Dual Overload, they didn't get anything from that. Like I said, they didn't get anything from Master Rule 5 coming up, so it's kind of hard to say. We don't know exactly where this deck will place, but it's going to do the same thing as all it's done. It's going to break boards, and it's going to swing in for a lot of damage with UCT. But without any further ado, let's get right into it. Starting with the main deck, let's get the easy stuff out of the way. We're playing 3 Overraptor. Best card in the entire deck, and your starter for everything. You want to see this card all the time. 3 Miscellaneous Source. This is usually your best target off of Overraptor. Make all your dudes immune, give you some stuff out of deck, kind of sets up all your combos with Soul Eating Overraptor's second effect. Great card. And then of course we have the babies, 3 baby Ceratosaurus and 1 PT Pteranodon, just for extra ways to get those guys out of deck, extra easy fodder for things like your True Kings, things like UCT, to set you up for your plays later. And then there are 2 of the big guy himself, Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Now I'm only playing 2 because in a weird way, drawing a lot of this guy can be sort of a brick because you are playing, I have 4 True Kings in here. So if you draw too many of these really high level guys and you can't find anywhere to get them onto the board, that's just an easy way to lose. And I also do play double evolution pill in this build, so being able to not brick on your best card, I know it's a weird thing to say, but that's usually pretty important. This though, probably one of the strongest boss monsters ever created, easily top 5. Love this card. And it's going to do, like I said, it's going to do the same thing it's always done. It's going to absolutely wipe boards. It's going to win the game for you every single time. And then I play 2 Dogoran, just to out more problem cards. This is searchable off of Overraptor. This gets out of literally anything. There's nothing in this game that this card can't out except for, like, what, Darkest Diabolos. But this could pretty easily be cut for some other stuff like Foolish Burial or other texts like that. And then a lot of the 1 of Dino's Giant Rex, Overtex, Pankratops, the 1 Aolo for your synchro plays with Misk. And then we have the True Kings, that's 3 Agnimazad, and 1 the Lithosigum, just to set up for your play with True King of all calamities. And of course, if you pop a baby off of these, that's going to get your play rolling. And these cards are okay. I think that this is the best way to play the Dino deck, is with these cards in there. But I don't know, I've run into a lot of problems with them before. That's for sure. Now for kind of the 1 tech card, I have the Kaku the Shining Sky Stag, the Gizmek. Now, I played 2 copies of this card last format because obviously everything had to go into the extra monster zone. As we're moving forward into MR5, I don't know how good this card's going to be. Most decks do play a Link monster, so this probably still be pretty good. But the big thing about this card is it's a level 9 and it's a fire, so it synergizes with your True Kings, it synergizes with True King of all calamities being a level 9. And it's also a free way to just get a monster off the board. All you got to do is, if your opponent has a monster in the extra monster zone, you special summon this, then you can use this other effect to equip that monster in the extra monster zone to this. And then if this destroys a monster by battle, you can summon that monster that's equipped to it, which is pretty easy thanks to Lost World. You're going to have a 0/0 token on board. You can just run it right over with that and then get that monster for free. You can steal all sorts of things with this, but it's hard to say right now. I think this card is still really good, but it might not wind up being amazing at MR5. And I only play 3 Ash. Now I do play a double evolution pill, but between all the worms from True Kings, this is usually more than enough fodder. I'm playing Ash because it's generic. We're going into a new format. I think Invoke Shaddoll is probably the best deck, so Ash hits that deck the best. That's pretty much all there is to it. And for spells, we're on 3 Fossil Dig, 3 Lost World, and we have Diagram and 1 copy of Mystic Mine. We're playing the Mystic Mine in there because we are playing set rotation, and of course Terraforming. But the set rotation, you don't want to open Diagram. Well, you do want to open Diagram, but you don't want to open Diagram and then have set rotation as well, and then have it not be live. So you can use your Diagram to do all those plays, set rotation to set the Lost World, give them the Mystic Mine, and then kill them that turn, or get rid of the Mystic Mine with something like Tornado Dragon or something like that. I think this is a pretty optimal lineup. Mystic Mine, I Probably could bump that up 2 copies if you wanted, but generally speaking, it's not really a great win condition for this deck. It's just really just extra fodder for set rotation more than anything. And then the last couple of cards we got here is the 1 double evolution pill. I think this card's good. The thing is, I don't have Pot of Extravagance, so this is just a build playing without that. But with the Overtext, it getting popped off of Diagram, getting popped off True Kings, you can still get this card and then turbo through and then get to your UCT as fast as possible. Also, you can send the Overtext off of the Overraptor if that's just your hand sucks and you just need to get to UCT because it's your win condition. This is a great way to do it. And then for traps, we're just playing 3 evenly matched. So the thing that Dino does best is it breaks boards. This is probably one of the best cards ever printed for breaking boards. So you can just make your job real easy by just dropping this card and the board's gone. And then hopefully you can set up the board around it with things out of the extra deck, like 3 True King of all Calamities. This is still one of the most powerful cards ever printed in terms of what it actually does. This deck gets it out pretty easily. I don't know. It has its flaws for sure, but obviously you have access to things like Trishula plays in the deck that make it pretty easy, along with True Kings, along with the Gizmek, so on and so forth. But breaking a board and putting this up, you're pretty much going to win the game 10 times out of 10. Or if you go first with this, I mean, this card's just that good. That's for sure. And then we play a lot of just kind of toolbox rank 4, so Abyss Dweller, your Evilzars, of course, Logia, and Dolka. I only got 1 Dolka because I've never found that having 2 was worth it. I decided I'd rather have a little bit of extra flexibility in the extra deck. So more things like Exciton, Castel, Tornado Dragon, Dugaris, and this is probably the most questionable one, but a Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max. UCT is a level 10. You can search one off of your Saluting Overraptor and then summon the other one out with a double evolution pill. So if you go ahead and swing through the entire board, you can just finish them off in main phase 2 with the Gustav Max. I think I've only ever done it twice, but I like having that option there. It's just an extra grind out win condition. This could pretty easily be a Dolka though. It probably will be sometime in the future. Chambara, because at the very bare minimum, something like Overraptor, get Misk, use Misk, get Aolo, go into Chambara, and you then go into UCT is at least the bare minimum OTK in the deck. So I just like having that option available. Trish, Nightmare Phoenix, Pentastag. The links don't matter as much. There probably should be an IP Masquerade in here, but I don't really know what I would link it off into. It's definitely an option that's pretty available. And then Trish, of course, this is, I suppose, the biggest hit the deck had is this went to 1. Not that big of a deal. You're really only ever going to make the 1. It does make the deck a little bit worse if you're playing a Pot of Extravagance build, that's for sure. But otherwise, not a huge hit, at least not for the build I have that's not playing Extravagance. And pretty much the card you're going to see come out of the extra deck the most, hopefully, other than maybe for these 2, Logia and Dolka. And that's pretty much it. I don't really have a side deck. If you guys want to see a side deck for this, just let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to show you probably how I would side for this deck right now in the current format. But that is True King Dino. I think this deck's going to be really solid moving forward. But yeah, if you have any questions, want to see any other particular deck profiles, just let us know. Have a good one.